Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name's Amber. Today's another reading vlog. This week though, it's all gonna be new releases that I'm reading, and starting off is my most anticipated read of the year, and that would be The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent. That is the fourth book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I have missed Misha so much. No words for this. I am so excited. After I read The Songbird and The Heart of Stone last year, I've been dying for this to come out. That was a 5-star read for me. I am hoping that this one is also a 5-star read for me, but at the very least, like 4.25, 4.5 I'm aiming for. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that it's not how The Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King went for me, because that was also, the first one was a 5-star for me, and then the second one, it was a good time. Don't get me wrong. I had fun reading the second one. It just, there were so many moments in that book that I felt so bored. I think I ended up giving that like 3.5. But yeah, I love Misha with everything in me. Her and Asar in the last book. Serve that man on a silver platter to me, please. Please. I'm gonna stop talking because today's release day, I need this like I need air. So I'm going to stop yapping and I'm gonna get to reading this ASAP.
Wait, hold on. What did I miss? What did I miss? Hold on, when did this happen?
Okay, I'm at the 50% mark, and two characters, well, I'm almost at the 50%. Yeah, I'm at 47%. Regardless, two characters from one of her other books have showed up in this one. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that, and I'm so glad they're in here. I loved them. That was a huge surprise. I really, truly did not expect these two characters. I knew they'd come back eventually. I don't know why it just didn't register that they would be in this book, but I'm so glad they're here. I'm so glad they're in this book because I absolutely loved them so much. When the guy showed up, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't register that it was him because I had forgotten what his name was. But when she showed up, I was like, no. I'm obsessed with this book. I don't know if it's gonna be a 5-star. It's close. It's so close. I feel like I'm predicting right now that we're hitting the 50% mark. I'm predicting that it's going to be like a 4.75. Oh, my camera's about to die. No! Anyway, I just wanted to give the update that there are other characters that are showing up in this, and I am so excited. I'm loving this book. And not to mention, some shit has gone down in this, but I have a feeling we're about to have so much more happen. I feel like this book's about to get crazy. It feels like it's leading up to crazy moments. And the tension, maybe this will be a 5-star. I don't know. I need to go figure it out. I need to keep reading and figure out what this is going to be. It's not disappointing. I can tell you that much. It is not disappointing. God, her writing and her worlds and her characters just suck me in like no, I don't even know what to compare this to because it is just, it's unreal how invested in these characters and her worlds that I get. Like, I need to get to all of her backlog. I think the only thing that I haven't read is Daughter of No Worlds. I think that's what I need to get into next because I need more of her writing. I need more of her characters. I need more of everything. And I'm so excited to get back to this, but I'm so not ready to be done with these guys. It's a struggle. Like, I just want to know where this is going to go, but I don't. I love them. I don't want it to end. But just know the tension is tensioning in this book. So if you love slow burn tension, pick it up. Just pick it up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, in advance, I apologize for this lighting. It's like 7:30 at night, and so the lighting's not great, but I need to do this update. I just finished The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. 5 stars. It gets 5 stars. It did not disappoint. I'm torn between 4.75 stars and 5 stars, but I have a feeling the longer I think about this book, it's going to be a 5 star, so I'm going to call it that right now. There was like a small period of time that it got mildly boring, but that could just be my brain. I have a really bad tendency of just like losing interest in every single book that I pick up right now, so I absolutely love Misha. I love her. I have no complaints about her. And Asar, don't even get me started on him. That man was down bad for her. The things that he said, his inner monologue about her, the things that he did for her, perfection. Perfection. There was never a moment that you questioned whether he would end the world for her or not. It was always 100% yes. There was one part towards the end that I was in tears. I was like, please don't do this to me. Please do not do this to me. I can't handle it. The ending had me crying. There were a couple, I do wish I would have went, I did like, how do I describe this? So Kindle now offers, like if you open up the previous book in a series, and you've already read it on your Kindle, it'll give you the option to do like a recap on the book, on like the series leading up to that book, including that one. Hopefully maybe that was like, I don't know. I'm on my second glass of wine, so I'm starting to feel the effects, and so my brain is kind of rushing a little too quickly for me, and I can't keep up with what my thoughts are going, so I apologize if this sounds all over the place. I'm trying. This amped me up about this book because I finished this right before dinner, and then I had the wine, and now my brain is just like yapping to itself about this book, and so Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying previous to this. Oh, I do remember now. So they offer like a recap of like the previous books. Honestly, it said recap the series. I think it might have just recapped the book though. Anyway, I did that for the previous book, for book 3, and it helped. It definitely helped. There were things in that recap that I was like, oh, I forgot that happened, but now that they say that, yeah, I do remember that. The thing that I wish I would have just went back and read it, because there were some characters where I knew the name, and I was like, I know you were in the last book. I remember you had a significant role in the last book. I can't remember who you were or what you did. And they did that. There was probably 3 or 4 characters in this book where they did that, and they were talking about them, especially at the end of the book. There were some people mentioned, and I was like, I know your name. I mildly remember you, but it's like next to nothing. I pretty much don't remember you. And now I'm confused on what's going on. Because like there was one girl, she gets mentioned towards the end of the book, and it's like a happy reunion, and I was like, who are you? What did you do in the last book? Because you were clearly a good person. Who were you, though? And there's a couple other ones. Like, the next book, this has a cliffhanger, but not like a dramatic where you're mad that the next book's not out yet. I mean, let me take that back. I am mad that the next book isn't out, because I do just want to binge this, because I love this world. I love the characters. There hasn't been one that has dramatically disappointed me. There was one that mildly disappointed me though. But overall, I've loved all the characters. I've loved this world. The plot to every single story is just so addictive, and I just need to know what is going to happen. And there is a big thing that is coming up, like a huge thing that's coming up, but it gets left off in a place where I'm like, okay, thank you for that. Thank you for not leaving it on just the biggest cliffhanger on the planet. I appreciate that. But the next characters, I believe, are going to be, well, what the hell was his name? It starts with an S. Septimus. Again, it's one of those things where because I didn't go back and read, I know the name, I just don't fully remember who he is and like what his role was in everything else. The next one is announced, Bloodborne duet, but still Crowns of Nyaxia 5. The Lion and the Deathless Dark, and that one is supposed to be coming out on August 4th of 2026. So we do have a full calendar year before that book comes out. I don't really have anything bad to say about this book. I loved Asar and Misha together. I love that we got to see some of the other characters from the other books. They had a more significant role in this one, and I loved that. It was so nice to get to see them again, even though they weren't the focal point of this book. There were a lot of moments that had me definitely tearing up. There are some sad moments, but they're kind of like a happy sad. if we're being honest, but they definitely had me tearing up. I felt a lot of emotions during this book. There was like one small part where I felt kind of bored, but I don't think it was the book. I really truly think it was me. This week has been kind of hectic, and so I've kind of felt like I was in a reading slump, and I was trying not to force myself to read because I actually was enjoying this book, and so I wanted to not have any moments where it almost felt like I was forcing myself to read it to be able to get this video out, because originally I wanted this video to go up this past week, but that didn't happen. And I'm glad I didn't force myself to read. I do wish I would have finished it sooner, but I'm torn because on the one hand, it was nice taking my time to read it because I felt like I enjoyed the book more. But on the flip side, I also almost feel like that might be why I kind of felt like I was in a mild reading slump, because I kept picking the book up for such short moments throughout the day and then putting it back down and going and doing other things that I was almost forgetting what was going on. And at some points it definitely was kind of taking the emotional aspect out for me, where I didn't feel like I was really truly connecting because I would just abruptly stop mid-chapter and walk away, and then I'd come back and be like, what exactly was happening? Oh yeah, they were in the middle of this emotional speech. But it didn't have the same effect because I didn't just give it my all. You know? So I feel like that is partially the reason, but the ending, like the last 20% of this book, I couldn't put it down. When I sat down today, I think I was at like 82% of the book. I sat and binged the last of it. And I think that's where it really got me of like, hey, maybe I should have just done this from the start. The biggest thing I hear is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. A lot of people don't vibe with that book, so they put it down and they decide not to continue the series. I almost did the same thing. If you also felt like The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King fell very flat for you, I highly recommend picking up Six Scorched Roses, the novella that comes after that. Read that because that was a 5-star novella for me, and I don't think I've ever given another 5-star. Actually, I did give Powerful by Lauren Roberts 5 stars, which again, I didn't like the first book really at all. I think I gave that like 2.5 stars or maybe 3. I think I gave it 3 initially and then dropped it to 2.5. Loved that novella. That was a 5-star novella for me because I loved Adina. But this was kind of the same way. I didn't really like The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I think I gave that 3 stars because I did feel like a lot of the moments were just very boring. I didn't vibe with the book. And then I read that novella and it was a 5-star for me. I read that in one sitting and I was like, this is insane how invested in these characters that I got, because they're not even mentioned in the first 2 books. Keep that in mind. Adina is mentioned in the first one in Powerful, so you kind of get attached to her at the first one. These characters are not. And oh my gosh, the guy might have been. I was mind blown at how invested in those characters and how attached to those characters I got in such a short period of time. That was the first time that I've ever read a novella where I was like, Carissa Broadbent knows what she's doing. I've never had another author be able to get me attached to characters so quickly and in such a short period of time. It was insane. 5 stars for that. And then reading Misha's story, 5 stars. 5 stars for both of them. I just loved it. But with that being said, we're going into Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. This is her newest release. It came out last month. So this came out July 15th. So in this one, you're following Abby, and she is a maid, but her apartment ends up getting infested with like bugs, so they have to fumigate it. She has to leave for, I want to say it's like a week, and she ends up staying at this penthouse to a millionaire that she cleans for because he's like out of town. But while she's staying at his apartment, his parents end up showing up and they're like, oh my gosh, I've heard so much about you. It's so nice to finally meet you. And she's just kind of standing there like, what do you mean you've heard so much about me? And then Declan, who is the millionaire that she is the cleaner for, ends up going to dinner with his parents, and they say, oh my gosh, we finally got to meet your girlfriend Abby. She's so beautiful. We're so glad that we finally got to meet her. And he kind of is sitting there like, oh shit, yes. And so then they end up agreeing that they will do the whole fake dating thing, and his proposition to her is, I will get you anything that you need during this time of us fake dating. We all know that at this point. I've said it so many times. I love fake dating. I love it. It is one of my favorite tropes, so I'm very excited to get this book, and since I bought it, I've been eyeballing it, but the second book for Misha came out, so of course I had to put everything on hold, and then I figured what better video to do this than reading 2 new releases.
yesterday I got over 50% of the way through this book. I'm at like 65. I wanted to do an update then, but my allergies have been so bad. And I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until tomorrow. Maybe they'll kind of clear up. No, they're worse today. They are so much worse today. I feel like I am stuck in that awkward time on an airplane when your ears just feel like there's water pushing against them. That's how my ears feel 24/7. My throat feels like someone took sandpaper to it, and I can't breathe out of my nose. So I apologize for the nasally sound that you're going to get here because it's just getting worse. I should have just done my update yesterday. With that being said, I didn't know how I felt about this book when I first started it. I'd say like the first 15 to 20%. I was enjoying it, but it just felt okay to me. It felt like one of those books where you're like, you know what, I'll give that like a 3.5. I'm having a good time. It's getting better. It definitely is. I'm more just looking forward to picking it up. I love our main character, Abby. She is so funny. Declan's a little uptight in the beginning. He's starting to kind of thaw and become a little bit funnier. He loves her sense of humor, even though he doesn't want to show it. And the tension between them. The only thing that's making me not overly like this book is there is a trope, and I don't even know what you would call a trope, that just, it works with some books, it doesn't work with the others. I feel like usually it's kind of like what my mood is. It's not necessarily the book. And I'm in one of those moods where I'm not hating it, but I'm also not loving it at the same time. But the fake dating aspect, obsessed. I love it. I always love a good fake dating. And there were a couple times he couldn't stop thinking about her at one point. And I was like, you are so down bad. It's not even funny. We love a consenting man, and he is that through and through. There's one point where it's his own apartment that she's staying at, and he asks permission to go over there, and she's like, it's your apartment. And he's like, yeah, but we agreed on this whole entire thing. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Lynn Painter's writing is just so bingeable. Like the last book that I read, which, I mean, granted, it's fantasy. I always feel like I read fantasy so much slower, but that book was like a 638 page book or something. That took me straight up over a week to read. I've read in 2 days 230 pages on this one, and I damn well plan on finishing this today. Romance I always read faster, but like her writing, it's just like every time I pick up one of her books, I feel like I'm done within like 2 days. I just feel like I forget that I'm even reading. Like I don't feel the need to pick up my phone or anything like that. And I'll sit down to read, and the next thing I know, I've read 100 pages, and I'm like, wait, when did that happen? But anyway, that's my whole update. Is just I would definitely recommend this book. It is very enjoyable, very easy to read. The banter between the two main characters is really good. Our main female character is really funny. I do like the backstory to each of them also. We're getting more and more from Declan. He comes across as just the typical like millionaire snob at first, but we're definitely getting more of like a backstory on him and what he is kind of doing with like his free time and his money. And then we're also getting a lot of more of a deeper look into Abby and kind of why she is the way she is with how her childhood was. Also, our main female character likes to write, and anything that has to do with books and reading or writing in a story, I love added into it. So far, so good. I'm hoping that it keeps going the way that it's been going because, like I said before, in the beginning, I was thinking more of like 3.5. I'm definitely up to like a 4 now. I'm guessing it's going to be a solid 4. There could potentially be that third act breakup that I don't like. Sometimes they work, sometimes they just annoy me, they feel like they're just adding more to the story to make it longer. So we'll see how this one ends up going, but as of right now, I'm guessing 4 stars. Okay, so many things going on. Bear with me. This isn't going to be a super long update, but each day this is just getting worse. So I'm just going to do the update. I finished Maid for Each Other. I don't really know what I want to rate this. I'm thinking like 3.25 stars, maybe 3.5. I had a good time reading it. It's just I wasn't a huge fan of the third act conflict. It just kind of felt, I don't know how to describe it. It's like kind of a combo of tropes I don't typically like, and I wasn't a huge fan of them in this. The book itself, overall, really good banter and chemistry between the characters. I really enjoyed the characters. I did like the kind of like subtle background to each of them. I feel like overall it was very well done. The writing's super easy to follow along, super bingeable. It's a good time. I still would recommend it. I just felt like the third act conflict just felt mildly forced, and so for that I'm knocking it down to like 3.25, 3.5. And also it did feel, I shouldn't say insta-lovey, because they do spend a lot of time together. It's just this whole book takes the first, I shouldn't say the whole book, the first like 70 to 75% of this book takes place over just a few days. It's pretty much like just the weekend. So for that reason, I'm just like, that's not really enough time for like the way that the characters were talking to each other, in my opinion. It just feels a little and then the amount of time for the third act conflict that passed was mildly irritating. I still think that this is worth picking up. I still had a fun time. I still enjoyed it. That's really like all I have as my update for that. And on top of that, my throat is killing me. So even if I wanted to keep going with my update, I can't. I physically can't. Unfortunate turn of events towards the end of this video, but I think that it was pretty successful for both books that were read in this. I did enjoy both of them. It's only been a couple days, but I'm still thinking about Misha and Asar. I'm not gonna lie. I can't stop thinking about that book, and I really don't know what I'm gonna pick up next. Probably just gonna find a random KU book if we're being honest. With that being said, that is all that I have for you in this video. Let me know if either of these books are going to be ones that you plan on picking up, or if you've already read them, what did you rate them? I'm curious to hear what other people thought of both these books. But thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate it. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to stay up to date with all my future content, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!